All right, y'all. So I did get this DM from an anonymous person,
Okay.
but y'all got to hear this story, okay?
Let's hear it.
Dear Crzy Bish from Anonymous. Once upon a time, I went through my man's phone and saw that he was cheating on me, but with a man.
Oh.
I literally smashed every window out his car. So, ladies, tell me, do y'all think I'm crazy?
I don't think that's
No.
crazy. No. Is that? That's not crazy.
Especially if you found out he on the down low.
Yeah, well, yeah.
What you guys say, Lauren?
I feel like it can be viewed as crazy, but with reason. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
Crazy
sure
with
when you tell
reason.
the cops that what just happened, they're gonna let you go.
Lauren, she got to have her makeup done first, though, right?
Yes.
So you say it's crazy, but within reason. I say it's not crazy. I mean, every action has a reaction, right?
Yeah.
And you cannot blame somebody for how I react to what you've done to me. I mean, that's just common
Okay.
sense.
So let me ask y'all this: what is your definition of crazy? Like, what is crazy to y'all? What makes a bish crazy? Like, what's crazy?
I think, like, that word is so subjective because you could really just have an attitude and a man be like, oh, this a crazy bitch, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or you got them bitches who slashing tires, knocking out windows, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case might be, and she a crazy bitch.
Now, I will agree with you. So, like, right? So, crazy, I think crazy is used too loosely, right?
Yeah.
So, like, definitely when you start destroying property, things of that nature, okay, like, that's crazy. Like, we're adults. You're taking it a little bit too far.
Mhm.
But I feel like society, like you said, you can have a little bit of an attitude, or, you know, you upset with your man because he did X, Y, and Z. It's like, oh, she crazy. Or even if you get into a little, you know, verbal altercation, you know, you might be considered crazy, but that's not really crazy. As long as I feel like when you start putting your hands on people, then that might constitute as crazy, just a little bit.
Yeah, I think one definition of crazy is it's a term that is used, because we're ladies, I'm gonna go ahead and say, by men to deflect
Mhm.
or to kind of hide or deflect from a person's actions. So in a way, it's like, I did something and you reacted, but if I call you crazy, now all the attention is like on you. What do they call it? Is it gaslighting?
Gaslighting.
let's
yes.
So I think
talk about
that
it,
term is just used.
I
So-
hate gaslighting.
I have an ex, and that used to be one of our problems. Like, I'm a very chill person, right? Like, and Lauren knows this. Like, I let a lot of shit slide. Like, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna let that one go. I'm gonna let that. And then at a certain point, I stop letting shit go. And then when I say something, oh, now I'm crazy.
Exactly.
Or you done talking to me crazy, cussing me out, saying something, and then, you know, I didn't let it go. And then one day, I just hit you with the, you know, fuck you. And now,
Oh, you crazy.
you crazy. Like, you started this. Like,
Yeah.
you, like, no. But remember all them times that I was just letting that shit go, and I ain't say nothing, and it was, you know, it was cool. But now that I'm speaking up for myself, now I'm crazy.
I think, like, when, like, even on this topic, right? Because you'll have people out in the world or people just, like, listening in and being like, well, she ain't have to touch his property. She ain't have to do this and she ain't have to do that. But people don't realize what actually goes on in a relationship beforehand. Maybe she already had thoughts that was in her mental, like, is he cheating on me? He's being sneaky, this and third. And then you just so happen to go through your man's phone and you thinking it's women. And it's like, I don't even know who you are. It's like, what? Like, we could have talked about this or whatever the case, but you decided to go behind my back. And now maybe she done went through everything. And now she, like you say, you just lash out.
Yeah.
And people don't realize at the end of the day, we are human. And that's why I love our name for our podcast, because when we're talking about, oh, crazy or Dear Crzy Bish, we're owning in on that word. You know, it's no longer, you're not going to sit here and tell me that I'm a crazy bitch. Okay, well, I'll be that.
Right.
Like, if that's what you want to, you know what I'm saying? If that's what you want to say, I wouldn't have to be crazy or whatever you think that I am crazy as if you treated me right. If I didn't have these suspicions or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So what's the craziest thing that you ladies have ever done in a relationship?
Panda. Why don't you go first?
I mean, I ain't really been in too much like relationships like that. Just mostly something in high school, and I did go on a date recently, and I kind of felt like the person wasn't gonna take me home, so I went into their wallet while they were sleeping. I took their credit card number, input it to my Uber, and cause first I don't like spending the night out. To be honest, I really don't. And when I saw what time it was, I was like, yeah, I went into his wallet and took his credit card information and put it onto my Uber account. But I was already there still, so I was like, well, fuck, I'm gonna just have it hanging there, and I stayed a little bit longer, and went our separate ways and just ordered my Uber with his card. But then when he basically wanted to say, oh, I'll see you later, and then now all of a sudden it's like oh, you were kind of quiet and it's not. I'm an introvert and I like to feel people out. So don't think like I'm just like, I'm not into you, because like if that was the case, I wouldn't have wasted my time on this date. And why did you even bother to ask me, did I want to go to another bar and stuff? So you didn't have to do that either. Right. He wanted to say I was pressing to go to this place, which I don't even fucking recall, because I don't ever do no shit like that. But we had our fun. And I was like, well, since you're trying to dismiss me off, you said you want to see me, now you don't, or whatever the case may be. Okay, cool. I just want to let you know, I went into your wallet and I took your fucking confirmation and I put it onto my stuff. Yeah, I did tell him. Okay. And he was like, oh, that's fucked up. I said, well, I don't care, because basically I felt like you kind of robbed my time, so we even.
You robbed my time, so I'm going to rob you.
I have a question for you. Now, was that at least 7 years ago? Because in Michigan, the statute of limitations is 7 years, right? You good now?
I did that last week.
Oh, no. Well, at least he knew, and you let him know. Okay, you just stealing back your time, reclaiming your time.
And I left my lily lashes. Them bitches was not clean.
Okay, I got some on right now. Okay, them lily lashes is important.
What about you, Lauren? You don't do much crazy, do you?
So I'm retired from crazy. For me, I think it was like in
when
college.
Talk soft, y'all. When they talk soft,
it was in college, and this guy that I had known since we were like 16, and we had dated on and off. And I take my reputation very seriously. I'm not a shy person by any means. I don't care what people know about me if it's true. So I had heard that he was, going around town saying we slept together. And at the time, I was a virgin. So I'm like, how in the hell did we sleep together? Because I think I would have remembered that. So, I was upset. I called his homeboy, like, I'm about to get your boy. And mind you, too, he's like 6'6", so he's not like a little guy, whatever. Like, I'm about to get your boy. Like, I'm about to go over there. So I drove over to his parents' house, because clearly we were in college. My bad. Yeah, we were in college. And drove over to his parents' house. And I didn't know if he was home or not. So I kind of like parked like a little further
you
down
did a little stalking.
down the street.
Let me find out.
And was like looking, like waiting for him to come home, because his boy was trying to say that he wasn't home. But come to find out, the whole time he was home. But what's even crazier is that his dad ended up leaving the house. And so when his dad was coming out the driveway, I kind of scooted down in my car to so he wouldn't see me. And then I guess his dad probably actually did see me, because after everything and we made up, he was like, my dad had asked me, like, I think I see Lauren's car outside, but I'm not sure if it was her. So like that was like probably the craziest thing that I've ever done, which is like lightweight.
Okay. I'll share my story, because it kind of, you reminded me, weren't you there in one of this story I'm getting ready to tell? So it was a while ago, a long time ago. My boyfriend broke up with me, but I wasn't broken up. He was broke up, but I wasn't. I feel like it takes two of us to make the agreement. So I'm still here. And he decides to have company and living his single life. So I'm like, I hit my girls all on the group chat, like, listen, he has somebody over his house. I need y'all to ride with me. And I think I had like a itty bitty little Mazda 626 black car at the time. And I think it was like how you go to the circus and like 20 people hop out the one car. Everybody was like laying on top of each other. Were you there?
No, I heard the story though. Okay. I was there.
And it was nighttime. I pulled up. Everybody's like laying low in the car. And I call him like, whoever that is, you need to send her out right now because I'm coming in. So I look up and I see a girl just like flying out the house into her car, speeds off. She didn't even put the key in the ignition. She just got in when the car left. We all get out. We all go into the house, sit on his bed. It's like 8 of us just questioning him and grilling him. It was probably one of the craziest things.
I wish I was there. I missed that call.
It was hilarious. Now that I look back, I'm like, what the heck were we doing? So that's one of my little crazy stories.
I
What about you?
wish I had crazy stories like that. Honestly, a lot of people think that I'm crazy, and it's my mouth. Like my mouth gets me in trouble. I do a lot of threatening.
Okay.
So,
Lord.
like one time I threatened my man at the time that his dog would be ran out because I was watching him, and I was like, "Oh, you don't want to come back home? Okay, I'm about to release your dog." And he came back home. Another time with my
Oh, that's cute.
She's like, oh, that's
There's
cute.
definitely levels to crazy. Okay, you level 1. That's
I'm
cute.
level 1. I don't really do crazy. Because this is my thing, right? It's like, if I feel like I have to get in a position that I'm about to go to jail for you
Ooh.
or something, I'm not going to do it. Now, I done broke stuff in the house. I mean, we all know about my trash can that's broken and
Oh,
don't want to work
Lord.
no more. But I done, flower vases. He'll come home and it's like glass everywhere and flowers everywhere, like because I'm angry. Clothes ripped off, ran
And
in the
see-
shower and stuff, messing clothes up. I didn't know how to drive stick at the time. This was like about 4 or 5 years ago.
Uh-oh.
I found out my ex was cheating on me. I said, "Oh, really?" So I wanted to, I guess it was a little crazy. All right, whatever.
Yeah, tell us
I
the real
guess it was a
crazy.
little crazy.
Tell us the real crazy. Come on.
So I went through his phone. I am a phone person, okay? I go through the phone. So if you gonna date me, I'm gonna go through your phone. And I went through his phone and I found out that he was having sex with multiple
Oh my God.
women. And that is the most disgusting thing.
Ooh,
Like,
Yeah.
Lord.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So when I went through his phone and I saw that, I decided to take a screenshot, make a nice little collage because he was knocked out because he was too drunk. Made a nice little collage, screenshotted that collage of all the DMs, all the messages, and put it on his wallpaper. So when he went through his phone, he opened it up. But by this time, I was already like, "I'm leaving you." So he hadn't even seen his phone yet. So I'm like, "I'm leaving you," or whatever. He was like, "Well, where you gonna go?" Because I was out of town at the time. I said, "I'm about to take your car." I don't know how to drive stick, y'all. So
Oh,
I was
God.
messing up the clutch.
Right.
I was trying to get out the. I was like, "Fuck you!" Like, I'm done with you. All this like screaming, whatever, and all. He was like, "You messing up my car," and I was like, "I don't give a damn about your fucking car." So I like tried to get out, and I tried to let the bitch roll, but like. He pushed me out in enough time so the car didn't roll and crash. But that was my mental. I wanted to like fuck up his
Destroy
car. Yeah, I
his
wanted to
car.
destroy his car. Yeah.
See, that's where I draw the line, though. Destroying stuff. I think, because I work hard for my money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you mess up, I guess that's the whole point, right? You want to get them where it hurts, because
Mhm.
that's where we gonna fight.
But
For
you
real,
got
for real.
like with that situation, it wasn't the first time that I found out that he cheated on me.
But
I took him back so many times, and I'm like, okay, I was 22 at the time, so of course, if I was to have a child and I was to talk to my daughter, and I'm like,
Yeah.
listen, don't do that, and I vowed to myself that I would never allow a man to get me to that point.
Mhm,
You know what I'm
mhm.
saying?
Yeah.
Because once that man allows me to get out of my character or any position, you're not worth it. I'm not worth. Like, I'm not worth, but I'm worth so much more than that situation. And if you
Mhm.
can continuously treat me like that and then want to be like, "Oh, I'm crazy," and then let's say we just break up and then you got another little bitch over your crib and like, "Oh, that's my crazy ex." No. Mm-mm. 'Cause-
First of all, they marry those crazy exes.
Oh,
Then they have
exactly.
babies with those crazy exes.
Okay, talk about it. So, that I guess, yeah, I try to destroy a little property. So-
Okay. So you mentioned 22 years old. This
Mhm.
happened, and a lot of my 90% of my crazy stuff happened early 20s.
Mhm.
Do you believe that we truly do mature and grow out of crazy, or do you think it's laying dormant in there somewhere. And then some way, somehow,
Somewhere.
it could possibly. Of course, when you got things to lose, you make different decisions. But then our crazy can come out in different ways. We might not damage cars, but that same thing that's in there that made us do that
Mhm.
damage in that cars can manifest itself in different ways. Do you believe you can grow out of the crazy, or do you think it's in there?
No, it's still here. It's just
I don't know.
it's still here. It's just I am more patient.
Mm.
So for me, and just speaking on my life and my opinions and stuff, for me, I feel like if somebody it's like this, right? Best analogy story, whatever I could make up. If you're literally on a cliff and you're probably about like 10 steps away from that cliff, and somebody just like think, like just keep trying to push you over that cliff, it's like, I'm trying to tell you to stop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've worked so hard on myself. I done got close with God, and you just want to continue on to doing this to me. And at that moment, you know what? We did have a talk with somebody by the name of Dean. At that moment, it's when you go ahead and it's like, is it your fault at this point? You know what I'm saying? So even though you know that you have that, you know, underlying of crazy, why would you allow this man to continuously push you to that limit of being crazy? Even though it's there.
Yeah.
This is who I used to be. But should I allow that to show? Like, is that really love at that point?
Right.
I don't think so.
I love yourself more for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like it definitely lays dormant. I think at any point in time, you always say you don't put anything past anybody. At any point in time, it can come out. But like I said, but you have a choice. You make a choice. As you get older, you know, you have more things to lose. You start having kids. You know, you don't want your kids seeing you acting crazy.
Right.
Your mama going ham on some nigga. Like, no. Like, you don't want especially, like, I have girls. Like, so I can't. I have a responsibility. So I have to make sure the way that I present myself, the way that I act is something that I would want them to be when they get older. And, you know, it shapes who they are by seeing me and how I interact with men. So if they seeing me slashing some man's tires, because where they gonna go when I'm slashing somebody's tire? They gonna be in the car in the back seat with me.
Close your eyes.
Right, close your eyes. Don't do this. I know mama doing it, but don't do it, baby.
Yeah.
Like, no, like, you can't be doing that. So at some point, you have to mature. You have to move past it. You have to have control of your emotions.
Yep.
You have to, like I said, not allow, because people are gonna push you. But you have to be responsible and self-aware enough to not allow yourself to react. And you know what, like I said, we're human. We all sometimes are going to slip up, and you don't want to beat yourself up about it, but it's always about getting better and being better.
So if we telling each other basically like, I'm a destruction of property, Lauren and Lauren are stalkers, and Panda is a robber.
She's like, she's like, yes, I am.
Here's what I want to say. Like to your point.
Yeah.
We are responsible for the partners that we choose. There are guys, like my ex would probably say, this girl is crazy. Nobody could ever deal with her. But he's a certain type of guy. Somebody that I'm more compatible with is probably on my same level of crazy, or maybe has a uber amount of patience, might say, Lauren's great. She's awesome. I don't have those same tricks. Like those things that piss me off with you, he doesn't do that stuff. So you have to be responsible to choose. Like, I'd rather be in a situation where I don't have to fight and be crazy to somebody every day, because with this other person, it's peaceful. I can be me and I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
Or you know, meet my Joker.
Yeah.
To my Harley Quinn.
Like, even with me and my ex, we were very, like, back and forth. Like, we would bring out the worst in each other. Because I would always tell him, like, I never acted like this with anybody but you. So I agree. Certain people bring out certain things for you. And so that's why, for me, I had to call it, like, this ain't going to probably get no better. We going to be doing this to the end of time.
Yeah.
Like,
and
so.
it gets worse.
Yeah, and it gets worse and it progresses. And so, you know, he may not agree. He might think that, oh, you just gave up. But it's like, no, like, we
somebody has to be strong enough.
Yeah, to be like, call it. We better off not together. You know, we can raise our kid together separately and be all right and not have to have that constant tension. Because then what does that look like once again? Your kids seeing this all the time in their home. Like, it's not healthy. Like I said, and sometimes, like I said, you have to be the bigger person in the relationship and be like, okay, I love you, but it has to stop. And we clearly don't know how to stop this being together. So we just got to stop being together.
Yeah. Is there such thing as a crazy switch? And if there is, what makes you guys flip it on?
I think for me, my crazy switch is really it's like I have my biggest pet peeve is me repeating myself. Like, and not just repeating myself like, put the toilet seat down, put the toilet seat. No. I ain't talking about no petty shit like that. I mean, like, if I'm in a relationship, because I hate this about myself. Like, I have such a forgiving heart, and like, I'm like, well, maybe, like, I'm a damsel in distress, and like all this bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that about myself. And as I get older, you realize like your worth and everything else, whatever. But I have been in those positions where I kept fighting for this relationship, and I was the only one left standing fighting. And when I'm sitting here like getting to the point, in a sense, like begging, if that makes sense, like not like please do right by me, please do right, but it's like
sometimes your actions it's almost show like you're begging them, begging them to be here, begging for
And it's like when I start losing my dignity, and then like I look in the fucking mirror and I'm like, hold up, bitch, you is a bad bitch. All right, you're pretty and stuff. So then I turn up, you know, like I turn my game up, and I'm like, all right, whatever. And I get nonchalant, I get arrogant, I get all this other stuff, and I'm like, I talk to him any kind of crazy way. And then once I get to that point of not caring, I kind of care, if that makes sense, but of not caring, so I don't ask you where you going anymore. I ain't asking what you doing, who you with, this and third. But if you blatantly in my face disrespected me, because I already asked you so many times to do right by me. Yeah. So when it gets to that point of like not caring, I'm just here like a basically like a zombie in a sense, if that makes sense. It's like, oh, I'm about to leave, but if you blatantly give me that last little bit, that's my switch. Like, you couldn't even just be patient. Like, what? Now I'm about to tear some shit up because I done asked your ass. It's like talking to your kids. I done told your ass to fucking get some A's and B's in school. You come back home with a D. Like,
well, I want to rephrase the question.
Okay,
that was great. Because that was great. I want to rephrase it. When I say crazy switch, I mean you meet a guy.
I know she's talking about.
And you're like, I'm on my best behavior. And I'm a good girl. You got nothing to worry about me. And at what point do you go crazy on? Like,
oh, that's
where
just like
it could be the moment he says I love you, and then your brain just inside goes, oh yay. Or it could be like, I don't know, like what is it for you that allows you to fully be like
when I get vulnerable. So, y'all know me, like, in the dating world, a lot of men be like, oh, she act like a man. Like, she act like, you know, whatever. So, for me, it's like, shut up, Lauren. For me, it's like, when I'm playing a homie and I'm playing cool with you, and I don't care if you text me back because I'm not texting you back, and we just maybe casually having sex or whatever. Once you start putting those words to me like, I want this to be serious, and I want this, and I want that, and we're doing all of this, and I'm thinking like, oh, I'm in La La Land, and then I see some BS. That's what my crazy. It's not when I have sex with somebody and like,
it's like
nah, like, and sex is a whole different topic. We'll get to that, but it's not like when I have sex with somebody, then I turn my crazy on, or whatever the case. It's when you done told me you was gonna be this specific type of man. I expected this from you, this, that, and third, and I done became vulnerable to you. Now I'm not the homie anymore. I am still your homie in a sense, but now I am a woman. I'm being submissive to you. I'm like, what you need, baby? I'm rubbing your back and like all this. Once I done let that womanly feminine side out of me, and you done, oh, nah, you got the wrong one.
So then when do you start going through the phone?
Oh, I
because when I tell you she got the phone tips and tricks,
okay,
Lord,
listen.
Like, when is that?
So, okay, I'm gonna tell y'all, right? Me and my man currently now, and somebody would tell you like, oh, that's too soon to go through somebody's phone. I don't give a damn. If you're having unprotected sex with somebody, and if they're sitting here telling you, and you're spending the night with each other every night, and you talking about something, I want to live with you, I want to be with you, I want a real relationship, we're gonna do this, I want a family. Now you painting a pretty picture, and then I see some shiesty shit. Like, he turned his phone a little sideways. Don't even worry about it, baby. We're going to get drunk and I'm going to look through it tonight. Don't even worry about it. Like, I played it role, like, for real. Because it's like, if I was sitting here and ask him, let me see your phone. I'm like, the hell you need to see my phone for? But you was just sitting here telling me that you want kids with me and that you can have I can't even talk, unprotected sex with me, like all these things with me. And you want to build a family, you want to get married, you want to live together.
So you're saying immediately go through the phone immediately.
Oh, I go through the phone immediately. Yeah, I do. I tell everybody that. Yes, I do.
Immediately.
I feel like, because I feel like I've dated the worst of the worst. I've been through the worst. And at the point where I started having to go through the phone, it was hell from that point forward.
Yeah.
So for me, just where I'm at now, if I ever feel like I need to look through your phone or I want to look through your phone, I have to end the situation immediately, just because I don't know if it's relationship PTSD, but like
I get that.
I don't. If I ever start feeling like you gotta prove something or show me, I can't even do it no more.
But see, the thing with the phone is, and then we can move on from this topic, right? But the thing with the phone is that so my relationship person that I look up to is my older brother, Dre. Okay, he is a married man who he do right by his woman. They got 3 kids together, and they were sneaky links. So I see potential in that. Okay, they would tell me
put them out there like that.
they were sneaky links. Hey, he gonna watch this. He gonna be like,
do you hear this, Dre?
But they will tell you that, you know what I'm saying, and they made it work, and they got that friendship, they got that bond, and like even though they tell me like they done had some rough patches, but I see them like he could have his phone just sitting right here. And she could be like doing something. She's like, "Babe, let me see this," because her phone's not nearby, you know, or like, let me type this number in.
Different.
But when a man starts acting like, "Don't touch my phone,"
then that's a red flag.
Yeah. So it's like
it makes
that's
you
the type of
curious.
Yeah, that's the relationship I want. I want a relationship where people be like, "Oh, why you gotta go through my phone? You ain't paying my bill." Boy, I'd have slapped the shit out you. What? What? Slap the fucking. But yeah, so. I don't know. What about you, Panda? What's your crazy switch?
I mean, honestly, nowadays, I just, like, walk away. Like, I'll just say what I need to say because I ain't doing nothing else. Because I used to do stuff. I used to take a hammer and scratch someone's car with it.
She ain't tell us that in her story.
Right. And I asked the craziest thing you did. You said you robbed somebody
I've
last
done
week.
some crazy stuff, but now I just be walking away. Like, I don't even react like how I used to react. I'm more of a... cool, calm, collected, but also calculated person, because I have to think of my strategy of stuff, because nowadays you just don't know who might be crazier than you. I've always been told that from my sister. You don't know who might be crazier than you. So I just observe.
So the crazy things that you guys have done, do you believe that was solely based on the action of whatever, like the reaction of what somebody did to make you crazy? Or do you feel like deep down inside it's who you are and maybe there's some deeper things going on, not just, oh, they did this so I'm crazy. It's really like, no, I'm crazy because of whatever.
Well, now that I am single, I have a lot of time to reflect, and I must say, of course, like I said before, there's always a react to what people say, right? But I think sometimes it is you. You can always choose to react differently. You can always choose to walk away. You can always choose to say, I'm not gonna respond to what, how you're acting, whether it's good, bad, whatever. So I think at the end of the day, we all have a choice. And we have to make the best decisions that we can with the choices, even, whatever circumstances we are in. But, ladies, I think it's time for us to wrap it up. We got to go. But remember, the next time somebody calls you a crazy bitch, you got to ask yourself, am I? I don't know. All right, y'all.
We out.
Bye.
Bye.
That was funny.
That was good.
That was good. Yes.
Yeah, I was like, oh, shit.
I'm hot and sweaty.
It is hot.
I know. Let's take a little breaky break.